world's deadliest storms ever recorded.
Great Bulla Cyclone, Bay of Bengal, Bangladesh. In 1970, East Pakistan, now Bangladesh, was struck by 115 mph winds that killed between 300,000 and 500,000 people. The massive storm wiped out entire villages and countless acres of farmland. Super Typhoon Nina, China, and Taiwan, 1975. This enormous typhoon caused significant damage as it swept over Taiwan and made landfall in China. After it weakened to a tropical storm, Nina moved hundreds of miles inland, where torrential rainfall broke a series of dams and caused devastating floods. It is estimated that 229,000 people died in this catastrophic event. Hong Kong rainstorm disasters, Hong Kong, 1972. After Typhoon Rose, waterlogged soil claimed the lives of more than 130 people in a series of major landslides in Hong Kong in 1972. They included the landslide at Shu Fai Terrace on June 16, the Sao Mau Ping landslide on June 18, and the Po Shan Road landslide from June 16 to June 18. Hurricane Liza, Mexico, 1976. Over 1,200 lives were lost in what is still considered to be the deadliest weather disaster in the history of Mexico's Baja California Sur. The Category 4 storm severely flooded much of the peninsula and left more than 20,000 people homeless. Andhra Pradesh Cyclone, India, 1977. This devastating tropical cyclone was deemed a Category 3 hurricane and an extremely severe cyclonic storm. An estimated over 14,200 people perished. Hurricane Paul, Mexico, El Salvador, and Guatemala, 1982. This Pacific hurricane claimed almost 2,000 lives as it raged up the coast of Central America. Around 60,000 people were displaced after Hurricane Paul, and the region was left with $1.16 billion in damages. Kaveli Cyclone, Thailand, 1989. Also known as Typhoon Gay, the Kaveli cyclone killed over 900 people in 1989. 134 were reported as missing.
Bangladesh Cyclone, Bangladesh, 1991. Bangladesh suffered another enormous storm, which lasted for about a week, in 1991 that claimed the lives of over 135,000 people. After the 150 mph winds subsided, the community dealt with a 20-foot surge of floodwater across much of the land, leaving more than $1.5 billion in damages. Amernatyatra tragedy, India, 1996. Around 250 Hindus making a pilgrimage to the Amarnath cave shrine to Shiva died in a massive storm during their trek through the mountains. Since then, more tragedy has befallen pilgrims to this site. In 2017, a bus carrying pilgrims and others fell into a gorge. 16 people making the trek were killed. Hurricane Mitch, Florida, Honduras, Nicaragua, Central America, Yucatan Peninsula, 1998. Considered to be one of the deadliest Atlantic hurricanes on record, Hurricane Mitch struck parts of Florida, Honduras, Nicaragua, Central America, and the Yucatan Peninsula. Across the region, 11,000 people died during mudslides and massive flooding. Vargas tragedy, Venezuela, 1999. Slightly more than 2 days' worth of torrential rains created one of the most massive landslides in world history. An estimated 30,000 people perished in Venezuela during the Vargas tragedy, but only 1,000 bodies were ever recovered on account of heavy debris flows, which swept many bodies out to sea. Cyclone Nargis, Southeast Asia, 2008. Cyclone Nargis is one of the deadliest tropical cyclones ever. It impacted India, Thailand, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh just 10 short years ago. Its effects were devastating. Over 138,000 people died during the storm. Typhoon Haiyan, Philippines, 2013. Over 6,000 lives were lost in the central Philippines during Typhoon Haiyan, another storm that lasted for about a week. According to Business Insider, more than 1 million homes in coastal farming and fishing communities were lost. Rio de Janeiro floods and mudslides, Brazil, 2011. Nearly 260 people perished overnight during mudslides as a result of torrential rainstorms in Brazil. According to The Guardian, the worst-hit area was Teresópolis, where 130 people were buried alive. Thousands were left homeless. 2017 Moco landslide, Colombia, 2017. The third deadliest weather-related disaster in Colombian history was the result of a storm that ended in massive flooding and landslides that killed at least 254 people.